I'm Nancy Oram, and I'm going to introduce HTML entities. What exactly is an HTML entity? Simply put, it is text or symbols that won't be recognized when typed in the word content of your page. For instance, many symbols on your keyboard are used in HTML tags, like the ampersand or equal sign. If you type these symbols into your content, it could be read as code, depending on how it is used. Here's an example of using the copyright sign. Look down at the red stars on the page. The one on the right looks professional. You may recognize this example from the assignment we were supposed to correct from last week. The way to get the copyright to appear on the page correctly is to use the corresponding HTML entity. The HTML entity for the copyright sign is ampersand, no space, and the word copy, ending with a semicolon. The code on the right is correct for displaying a true copyright sign. Those characters that need to be represented with entities are called reserved characters. Here's an example of a chart of common HTML entities and the special characters used for them in HTML. You will notice they can also be represented with assigned numbers, shown in the far right column. This algebra site has a chart of algebraic symbols. Imagine if there were no reserved characters to display these algebra symbols. Let's look at the code for a few of the lines of the algebra chart so you can see how it works. This site chose to use number codes. There are over 14,000 different entity symbols with their corresponding codes. You can find many different sets of characters, including different alphabets, typography sets, money symbols, trademark and copyright signs, mathematical and scientific sets, and even fun icons and emojis like smiley faces and weather symbols. A fun resource for HTML entities is amp-what.com. If you type weather in the search box, here are the results, some weather icons like the sun and clouds. How about chemical symbols? Or smileys? Or animals? I'm not sure you would have an occasion to use cute little emojis on a website, but the point is, whatever you might need for a specialized subject, you will be able to find. And we'll end with an official definition, which says it more concisely than I can. An HTML entity is a piece of text, string, that begins with an ampersand and ends with a semicolon. Entities are frequently used to display reserved characters, which would otherwise be interpreted as HTML code, and invisible characters like non-breaking spaces. I actually didn't know what an HTML entity was before I signed up for this topic. I've only used the copyright symbol before, and I didn't know that what I was using was an HTML entity or a reserved character. Now I know, and in case you didn't know before, you do too.